You know, for as long as we can remember, invention has felt like this uniquely human thing. That spark of genius, that flash of insight. But what if that's all about to change? Today, we're diving into a fundamental shift in how we create, a world where artificial intelligence is moving beyond being just a tool to becoming a true partner in innovation itself.
So, before we jump into the machines, let's start with a really simple question. What does a new idea even look like? I mean, what's physically happening inside our heads when we have that aha moment? To really get what the AI revolution means, we first have to understand the original invention machine, our own brain.
And that takes us right here, to the architecture of invention, deep inside the human mind. For basically all of history, this biological computer was the only game in town.
Okay, so this is fascinating. Our creativity isn't just one thing happening in one place. It's more like a dynamic dance between three key neural networks. Think of it this way. You've got the default mode network. That's the wild brainstormer, just throwing out all the crazy what-if ideas. Then, the executive control network steps in. That's the realist, the engineer, looking at those ideas and asking, okay, but is this actually useful? Is it practical? And the salience network, that's the manager, switching our focus back and forth between dreaming and doing. It's that constant interplay that actually gives birth to an invention.
But here's the catch. For all its incredible power, our brain has some pretty serious limitations. First off, it's an energy hog. It uses about 20% of our body's entire power supply. It's also physically limited by, the size of our skull, and it's constrained by the incredibly slow pace of biological evolution. We can't just download a software update for our brain. And that very limitation, that's exactly where our new partner comes into the picture.
So, with those biological limits firmly in mind, enter the machine. And look, we're not just talking about a faster spreadsheet here. We are talking about a totally new kind of inventor.
And the difference in how they invent is just night and day. We humans, we run on intuition, on experience, on pattern recognition, but that also means we're stuck with all our built-in cognitive biases. An AI, on the other hand, is driven by one thing: pure, relentless optimization. It can explore literally millions of possibilities, totally free of any human preconceptions, just following the cold, hard math to find the absolute best solution.
And this is what that process actually looks like. The AI explores these unimaginably vast search spaces. That's basically every single possible solution to a problem. It's a landscape way too big for any human mind to ever map out. And it often uses a kind of digital evolution to find answers that are brutally efficient, but, well, they look totally weird to us. That's why people call them alien-looking. They're not designed to look familiar. They're designed for pure, unadulterated function.
All right, so this isn't just a cool theory. The impact is real, and it is happening at what feels like light speed. Let's take a look at what this human-AI partnership is already accomplishing. So, let's say you want to find the next massive scientific breakthrough. Here's how an AI does it. First, it just ingests a massive body of knowledge. We're talking millions of research papers, way more than any human could read in 1,000 lifetimes. Then it starts connecting the dots, clustering topics, and mapping out the entire scientific landscape. And here's the magic. It starts looking for the holes. It can spot where a method from chemistry has never been tried in biology, or where a 10-year-old theory has never been properly tested. It is systematically hunting for the gaps in our collective knowledge. And the speed is just, well, it's hard to even wrap your head around. 500 times faster. Let me put that in perspective for you. An AI can chew through 5,000 scientific papers in about 5 hours. For a dedicated human researcher reading full-time, that same job would take about 1.2 years. The acceleration is just on a completely different level.
And that incredible speed produces incredible results. In one real-world project, an AI analysis flagged 200 proteins that scientists had been overlooking. That discovery led directly to 12 new potential drug candidates. Even better, a follow-up study showed that 2/3 of the gaps the AI pointed out ended up leading to high-impact science. So it's not just finding gaps, it's finding the right ones.
And then, of course, there's the celebrity example, AlphaFold. For 50 years, figuring out how a protein folds into its complex 3D shape was one of the grand challenges of biology. I mean, the number of possible configurations is astronomical. People spent their entire careers on this. Many thought it was basically unsolvable. And then DeepMind's AI, it just cracked it. And in doing so, it didn't just solve a puzzle. It kicked open the door to a whole new era of drug discovery.
Okay, so if that's what's already happening, where in the world is all of this going? Let's take a peek at a potential timeline for what is starting to feel less like science fiction and more like an actual roadmap.
Now, of course, this is all speculative, right? But it gives us a plausible path forward. We could be looking at direct brain-computer interfaces in the 2030s. By the 2050s, we might see the emergence of the first true artificial general intelligence, an AGI, an AI that can think, reason, and create just like a human. And after that, things get really wild with self-improving AI that could lead to a superintelligence, an intellect that is just vastly beyond our own. The real takeaway here is that the rate of change itself is accelerating.
But honestly, we don't have to wait for the 2050s to feel this shift. This is what the next 5 years or so could realistically look like. We're talking autonomous AI agents handling all your scheduling and admin. We're talking movies, music, all generated by AI. A personalized AI tutor for every single student on Earth. AI co-pilots becoming standard in cars, planes, you name it. This isn't some distant dream. This is the world being built as we speak.
So, where does this all lead? What's the ultimate goal? It's something much, much bigger than just a better phone or a faster car. The true ambition here is a kind of new genesis, to completely redefine the process of scientific discovery itself.
And this really captures the scale of that ambition. Some are calling for a Genesis mission, which is basically an AI Manhattan Project for our time. The idea is to launch a massive, focused, national effort to accelerate discovery by orders of magnitude, putting AI at the table as a full partner to help us solve humanity's grand challenges, from curing disease to tackling climate change. Because at the end of the day, this isn't about technology for technology's sake. The long-term vision, the real prize, is a smarter, more resilient society for all of us. It's about taking this incredible new partnership and using it to fix real human problems on a global scale.
And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important question of all. We are literally building a co-inventor, a partner intelligence that can amplify our own in ways we're just now beginning to imagine. So as we stand here, right on the cusp of this new age, the real question isn't if we'll use this incredible power, but how. What problem should we point at it first?